Sunil, what I'm going to do is break down India's performance into India's batting as well as India's bowling. And let's start with India's bowling. There's a general feeling now, after having seen the two test matches, especially the Adelaide test match, that India are effectively playing with a one-man bowling attack in Jasprit Bumrah. How much do you agree with this sort of an assessment?
Not quite, because Mohammad Siraj is a big-hearted bowler. He's capable of taking wickets as it showed today. But yes, I think Bumrah is the battering ram, and he needs support. What India lacks is a third bowler to keep the pressure on, and a fourth seamer. Nitish Reddy is a good trier, but he's not at the moment the kind of bowler who is going to take you 2 or 3 wickets. It's a very important aspect of the game. Look at number 3 for Australia. Scott Boland comes in and picks crucial wickets. So that is where I think India is struggling a little bit.
So as you said that, you need some sort of support bowling to come maybe in the third pacer or the fourth pacer. I know there is a lot of chatter right now in India, all trying to find out where is Mohammad Shami, how fit he's going to be, when is he going to join. That's aside. My question to you is that, bowlers get injured. There are a lot of teams across the cricketing globe that will have an injured bowler here or two. But do we really now need to look at Mohammad Shami when he's going to be fit and coming? Don't you have someone like an Akashdeep who may not be Mohammad Shami, but we like to call him Mohammad Shami light because he gets the ball to seam just as Mohammad Shami. Maybe looked at him based on the conditions, something they could have gone in Adelaide?
No, I think you've got to say that Harshit Rana bowled well in the Perth game. So you couldn't have left him out of the team for the Adelaide game. I think over here, he probably was not used to bowling with the pink ball. That could be one of the reasons why he was expensive. So we've got to give him that little allowance. He's a young man playing only his second test match. He didn't bowl well. All of us saw that he didn't bowl well. It could be because of his lack of experience with the pink ball. But yes, I think when it comes to the next test and we go back to the red ball, it might be a question of either picking him or picking Akashdeep. Australia got a lot of left-hand bowlers, left-hand batters, and you can have somebody like an Akashdeep whose natural ball is the one that leaves the left-handers as a replacement for Harshit Rana. But that's for a few days. But I do believe that yes, I think taking a chance with Mohammad Shami will be just a little bit tough at the moment. But that is a selector's call.
That was going to be my next question, Sunil. Provided if he's fit, he's got a fitness go from, let's say, the NCA. We're still waiting on exact details of that. But just assuming if he's 100% fit, would you send an SOS to him?
Yes, because he's been a world-class bowler. Mohammad Shami has been a world-class bowler for India. There's a lot of regard, a lot of respect, and maybe a little bit of apprehension about Mohammad Shami joining the Indian team for the next maybe last 2 test matches. It might be a little bit difficult for him to be in Australia in time for the third test, which is starting next week. It might be just a little bit difficult. But yes, I think if India is struggling, I would certainly look at flying Mohammad Shami in, yes.
What would you make, Sunil, of the plans of the Indian bowlers today? Something we spoke about yesterday. You said that, listen, you'll have to change your line a bit, especially the length, looking at the pink ball and the kind of movement that you get with the pink ball. We saw that change, at least that there was an effort to change that. But what do you make of their plan? I'm going to take an example of, let's say, Travis Head. For Virat Kohli, we knew that the Australian bowlers knew outside the off stump, that's the plan, go for it. For a Travis Head, the entire cricketing world knows, we saw West Indies expose that at the start of an inning, he is a bit susceptible to short pitch bowling. The world knows about it. Do you think India were lacking there, not trying to implement this plan, which could have worked against a Travis Head?
Well, it could have worked. That's the thing. This is the third big game, you could say, where India has failed to exploit that. I'm not saying that he would have got out, but what happens? Good bouncers mean that the next 2 or 3 deliveries, the batter is just that little bit careful, just that little bit shaky, trying to get onto the front foot, and that's where you can get him. In the World Test Championship final, we started to bowl to him when he was well past 100. In the World Cup final, again we didn't exploit that bit. In the first test at Perth, we did not do that. Here, We did not do that on a pitch. And Perth and Adelaide have been pitches where there's been a good carry, good bounce. So clearly that should have been tried, but it was not tried. The first bouncer that he faced today was off the 14th ball. I think it should have been bowled a bouncer. The second or the third ball should have been a bouncer to him to tell him, look, we mean business. And with a field set accordingly. But that didn't happen. That hasn't happened for four big matches. And for that, the explanation is only with the Indian team. I cannot give you an explanation why that's not been happening.
Sami, looking back at that 140 by Travis Head, two things really stand out. One, as he himself mentions, weren't easy conditions to bat on. The ball kept swinging, kept seaming. That. And secondly, the pace at which he batted, almost run a ball.
Yes, I think that's what he is so good at. He can take the attack to the opposition bowlers. He takes his chances, and he gets away with it. There were a couple of streaky shots that went through the slips. So sometimes you might get it right because there was only one slip in position. That one slip moved to what would be between first and second slip, and the catch went at first slip. So it's a question of luck going your way. Luck went his way. But I still feel that India's bowlers should have tried the short pitch delivery at him, the bouncer at him at the start of his innings. Before he had got to 25-30, you could have definitely tried that. But they kept on pitching it up or pitching it short where it was coming just below the shoulders and between the shoulders and the midriff. And he was able to deal with that quite comfortably.
So one, as you say, that there was that gap in that first slip. The other, there was a catch also dropped off Travis Head. I think Siraj was the fielder when he was trying to take that catch. If he's caught, it's a different game, you would say. We'd be discussing the scenario of the match completely differently.
Yes, it was a difficult catch, mind you. Very good effort that by Mohammad Siraj. Never easy to run back, and because you mustn't forget that over here there is a breeze which is going, so the ball would be still with the breeze going away from the fielder. So it was a very good effort from Mohammad Siraj. But if that catch had stuck, then you could have said that maybe another 70 runs would have been saved, and in which case maybe you would have had the Australians having a lead of maybe just 70 runs instead of 150.
Travis Head saying that he's slightly disappointed with the way that transpired. Personally, I'm all for aggression. I love an aggressive fast bowler. But once the batter has got 140, he's pretty much done the job for his team. Not much you can say to upset him then.
Well, I mean, I think it could be because the previous ball had been smacked for a six. And so no bowler likes that, whether you're a fast bowler or a spinner. And when you get a wicket the next ball, then your emotions can get the better of you. But I think Siraj might have overstepped the mark. And that is the reason he might find he might have already found himself in front of the match referee after that, because even there was an appeal for an LBW where he had gone past the batter, was running towards the slip. That is something that is frowned upon by the ICC. So maybe he has got to look to curb that, and that LBW, there was a thick inside edge. So the way he had run across meant that he could get into trouble. So he's somebody who bowls his heart out, no question about it. Every captain would love to have a bowler like Mohammad Siraj in their team, because he's there all the time. But I think somewhere down the line, somebody has to sit him down and say to him, look, just curb that little bit of aggression. So you don't have to have a go at the batters. Look what happened to Harshit Rana yesterday when Max Finney and Labuschagne were playing. He was having a go at them. He was giving them some lip. Today, what happened? The tables turned. In this game, the tables can turn very, very quickly. So it's best to just let the bat or the ball do the talking.
Okay, India were very, far back in this game, Sunny Bhai, and if they really needed to make a comeback, two of its star batters in Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma needed to step up. I'm going to talk to you about both of them individually. Let's start with Virat Kohli. 4 dismissals in this series. 3 of them have come, that same thing, right, ball outside the off stump. Something that Australians knew about, kept bowling him there, did not give him one ball to hit on the onside. So clearly they came with a plan. But this is that old problem that he had. It's come back to haunt him again.
No, I don't. Well, I mean, look, there are only so many ways a batter can get out. But you've got to give credit to Scott Boland for for the delivery that he bowled today. It was a terrific delivery that he bowled. I don't think there was anything wrong that what Virat Kohli did. Kohli just played down the line, in line with the ball. The ball moved just a little bit and got the edge. It wasn't that he had pushed at the ball as he had done in the first innings to get off the mark. There was, that uppish towards the backward point area. He hadn't done that. So it was a credit to the bowler. I wouldn't be pointing a finger at Kohli at all, because that was a real beauty of a delivery.
Rohit Sharma, Saima, I know that he missed the first test match. And it's not always the runs. It's not that Indian batting has been piling up a lot of runs. But, his stay on the crease in both innings, really not looking comfortable. What do you think is going wrong?
I think the feet aren't moving as they should. I think maybe he needs to do a little bit of exercise, standing up exercise where he's jogging at the crease, trying to get some circulation in the legs. He has always been a little bit of a slow starter as far as his feet movements are concerned. It's not just a recent problem, but the older you get, the more pronounced it becomes. So I think that is something that maybe he should look to do when he comes into bat. Maybe run in a little bit, so that the circulation is there. Do some spot jogging before you take the first ball.
Finally, Sahibai, before we let you go, yesterday you said Australia had their noses in front. Today we are saying they are completely in control. Is there any hope, or are we expecting an early finish on day 3?
I think we'll have an early finish on day 3. I'm very optimistic most times as far as Indian cricket is concerned, but I think it's time to be realistic. If Nitish Reddy and Rishabh Pant can delay the end and avoid an innings defeat, that will be fantastic. That will be a very good achievement, I would imagine. But I think this time around, Australia will keep their unbeaten record with the pink ball in Adelaide.